Hi, I'm Leather Rock. Welcome to my channel. This is Garfield, you know that. I want to talk to you about something that happened to me in the house yesterday. And this was all my fault, too. I didn't have the light on in the hallway in the very back of the hall where the other person's uh, room is and the bathroom is. And a couple of days prior, I had gotten an Amazon box. And instead of disposing of it, I left it laying down in front of the back door. And I just was going down that area to use the big full bathroom so that I could very carefully rinse something out without getting my bandages wet, which of course is almost impossible. Oh, you notice something different? You notice yet another bandage? Well, that's what I'm getting to. Because I couldn't see, I slipped on that big box. I tripped, I fell face down. That was in a rare part of the hall where there's nothing that you can catch onto. In the process, I dinged this a little bit. Fortunately, didn't take the bandage off of it, but I cut my fingernail. Well, not the fingernail, but the finger here, and it was bleeding. So, what does anybody do when something like that happens? You go to the nearest faucet to turn on the water. And what happened next was very alarming, and it would be to you. I got a bunch of air sputters and no water. So you'd probably be thinking what I just thought. Well, now somebody's done it. They have turned off the water to my building, which I wouldn't have been surprised. If this building is condemned and if nobody's supposed to be here, then why wouldn't they do that to force the rest of us out? Okay. So, and I heard a scraping sound on the concrete near my bedroom window. So, of course, I went down to the hall, opened up my window, and I saw a man in a uniform. Well, right away, I put back my head in the window because I didn't want to draw attention to myself because I didn't want somebody to try to force me out, whatever. But then I decided that I would go back out there, and he was a man, a worker, was face down, and they had taken over one of the grates that uses covers utilities or something. And turned out it was a man working for the water department, and he claimed that he was redoing our water meter. And I showed him my bleeding finger and said, "There's no water on, and you don't realize how much you take water for granted until you actually have a uh, need for water, and certainly soap and water you need when you have a fresh bleeding wound." But so I had to wait an hour for the water to be turned back on, and then of course you have to run the water, and it's brown and yucky at first. And I had to do that for all of our water fountains, and the hot water especially had a lot of air in it and stuff. And so we have water again. It wasn't actually shut off, but I don't know if I could, you could see, but I should have one doozy of a bruise from the way my arm hit. Now, I had to cut back the fingernail that is my original infected finger. Of course, I keep my nails cut back to play guitar anyway, even though I haven't played. Since that little brief time, I played a little bit in Washington, and it was certainly nothing to brag about, so you're not going to see that footage. But yesterday, I was hoping that I was going to get to see my mother in a hospital, but I didn't, partly because I was waiting for this to arrive. A good friend of mine, one of very few local friends I have here in Atlantic City, got Garfield a new carrier. So I was able to throw out the one that was too broken that I couldn't get the door to fix, the one that had hinges that were broken. I gave it the Air Force burial. Garfield has a new carrier now. Okay. And I was thinking about getting him a harness today. Now, I could either do what I would be easier for me and get something on Amazon and hope it's suitable, or somebody recommended that I go to Petco, which is in Pleasantville, not just a couple of blocks from the bus terminal, which isn't even a bus terminal, by the way. It's just a bus stop. You cannot go in a terminal. There's no bathroom facilities, all that stuff. So I don't know whether I should go and get this harness in person. And the thing is, if I do that, I'm going to have to pay bus fare. Whereas if I get something, as long as I'm spending at least $35 or whatever it is, I get free shipping. So I kind of would like the convenience of getting the free shipping rather than have to go and pay for a bunch of bus fare. All right. If you guys have any opinions on this or any thoughts on what's a good kind of comfortable harness for a cat like mine, and Garfield weighs 13 pounds, by the way. So if you got some thoughts on that, feel free to tell me. Meanwhile, hopefully today I will get to see my mom. I'm bringing a couple of accoutrements with me. I have a senior slash disabled jitney ticket that I will throw down, and I may have found somebody's AARP card. I'll have that visible. And then when I ask for what the fare is to Camden, I'm going to guess they're going to say I mean senior. And so, because that's the kind of fare I want to pay, because that's half price. And if I end up taking a whole bunch of trips to see my mother, that could be a computer right there. So I'm obviously not going to neglect my mom, but you don't blame me for getting this as affordable as possible. Uh, One other thing I need to mention, I just got off the phone with my mother today, and she is very suspicious because she's observing some kind of behavior that she doesn't think is right. People making comments about the billing and the insurance and asking questions of the other person who has moved out of our house, who, because he had cell phone and he was traveling around a bunch, my mother had designated him as her emergency contact, even though I'm her caregiver. And I was a little bit insulted by that, why she would let somebody like him be trustworthy over her medical decisions. That is just doesn't make any sense at all. But anyway, I had to leave a message for him telling him not to agree to anything anybody wanted to sign or have him agree to or anything. There's just some funny things going on with my mom, and she noticed some other things. Like there was a doctor that she saw him with one name tag, and a couple hours later she saw him with a different name tag. I mean, with literally a different name on it. So something is going on with my mother's health care, and I don't know how easily I can get to the bottom of this. But if I go to see her, then I will eyeball certain things for myself. Let's hope we find out what the heck's up. Because my mother, apparently, she has the same bacterial infection that I have called cellulitis, but it has somehow gotten into the fluid in her joints. She already has arthritis pain that I never realized arthritis was as painful as what her experience is. I mean, I got a little bit of arthritis myself, and my aches and pains, if I do have them, are no more than a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. She is going from 5 when she's all morphined out to 7, even 8. She is suffering. So I don't understand how long it could take for them to find out how to uh, diagnose why she's in pain and why they can't get rid of this infection. But maybe I'll find some answers when I see her today. All right, that's my video for today. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.